Drivers' Championship over now. Everybody's racing for fun for the final couple of races, the first of which coming to you from the magnificent Suzuka circuit. It's a unique track, a figure of 8. Last season was actually the third round of the championship. This season it's round 16, the penultimate race. The magnificent series of corners including the first corner, the S's, the Degner curves and the frightening 130R. As in Singapore, one stops are the order of the day. Nobody considering 2 or 3. So in Q1 we see the shake and bake of Lewis Hamilton topping the timesheets. Edison looking very strong, as are the Mitchell team and the X-Elite team. Andy Racing also quick, and as usual the 4 teams, SF1, AJ, Autodynamics and GRM all failing to make it through. Pole lap time, and it's the Shannon of Bruno Senna. Through turn 1 and 2, lots of camber on the inside, so the drivers can carry a lot of speed into there. We've seen a lot of incidents into the first corner as well. The S's, drivers can crash here as well. The Mlop, very fast left-hander, and Bruno taking it flat out by the sounds of it. Very, very fast corner that one, before breaking into the second Degner. The hairpin curve, Bruno taking an odd line, staying on the inside line, it gets wider on the exit. We're turning right now. In the dry, it's a straight, but in the wet, it's a corner. Double left-hander of spoon curve. Very tricky corner to get right, that. I've seen lots of drivers go off there in the past as well. Maybe moving to the outside line. And it looks more open this time as the 130R than in previous seasons. Now to the final chicane. And then accelerating for the line. And that is a very, very fast lap time of 1 minute 25.973. So an extremely fast lap for Bruno Senna. So he's on pole position, and he's promised an Easter egg at the end of the video from the AFIA boss, AJ. Strange considering it's only January. Button second on the grid on the hard tyres. Alonso third using soft tyres. Hamilton fourth. Buemi fifth. Raikkonen sixth. Suttil, Pantano, Vettel and Klein completing the top 10. Robert Kubica, the winner of the Singapore race, down in 15th, so disappointing qualifying for him, and X-Elite's not quite as quick. Neither is Nelson Piquet. Getting ready for the start. There are the 5 lights on. And they go out. Who will be leading into turn 1? Very long downhill slope. And there's action, there's a bit of swerving at the back, but it's Bruno Senna. From Hamilton, Button, Raikkonen up to 4th, Alonso 5th, and Buemi 6th. Pantano up to 7th. He started 8th on the grid, so good start from Pantano. The best one coming from Hamilton, up 2 pit places from the start, but he's under pressure now from Button. So through the Degner curve they go. Is Jensen Button going to try and move into the hairpin? It's close. Everyone defends from each other up on the inside there. So no chance of an overtake. Button trying to get past him on the way out, but it's lost momentum as a result of that. But Senna pulling away for the time being. The Shannon's looking like the superior package, even on the softer tyres. Jensen Button having a look, but not making it round the outside. Into the chicane. Oh, and Senna going off the track. Got his braking a bit wrong. And that's going to give Hamilton a slight chance into turn 1. Can he use the shake and bake's power to challenge into turn 1? He's in the slipstream. And he can't quite do it up the inside. And Hamilton's taking the fastest lap as a result of Senna's mistake. Pantano up the inside of Buemi into turn 1. He's got him. Up to 6th place goes the Italian. Now he's going to try and catch Alonso, who is on the soft tyres. Clean having a look at an Excelite into 130R. It's looking like overtaking is a bit more difficult into the final chicane. But Clean has got a good run at the back of the Excelite. And up the inside are battling Pedersen and Dark Wolf. I think it was Vettel and a Dark Wolf, obviously. Can't quite tell you which one yet. It's gone in the favour of the Dark Wolf driver. Button in 3rd. Trying to have a look at the back of Hamilton, who runs wide at the chicane. And that's given Button a chance. But he's backed out of the throttle. And that's given Raikkonen a chance to get up to 3rd place. He's having a look at the inside. Can he do it? No, he can't. Alonso under pressure from Pantano into turn 1, but Alonso holding on. Sutil. And that's Mitchell running wide, and I think Sutil tagged the back of him and has lost momentum as a result. It's going to give Maldonado a chance. The Renault in the back of the Shannon looks like a more powerful engine, and he's used that to get ahead of Sutil. So into the points goes Maldonado, looking to make up for the disappointment of Abu Dhabi, where he retired, having looked good for a podium. Now he's just got past Buemi for 7th, sorry. We now look at, this is still Maldonado. It's the chicane and he's overshot that. He's had to run wide over the extra bit of green tarmac. Meanwhile, Button is and his engine's gone. Maldonado's engine's blown up, so reliability again marginal for Shannon. Hamilton, this is Hamilton under pressure from Button, and Hamilton going off, go across the AstroTurf, and Button's tagged him in the spin and smashing into the back. This back of Hamilton goes Raikkonen. Both will pit. They've not lost any wheels. And that's shaken up the order a bit. The wrong meaning of shake and bake for Lewis Hamilton. But he's rejoined. Well, there he's made a move on PK. I think he rejoined ahead of Raikkonen. Hamilton down in 19th. Looking to make a move on Anthony Davidson into turn 1. And he's done it. Up to 18th place goes Hamilton. But he'll be livid with that incident with Button and Raikkonen. Now he's looking to move up another position at the expense of Timo Glock. Is that David Coulthard? It's 17th place either way for Hamilton. It was David Coulthard. And out of the race goes Pantano. He's crashed somewhere. Here we can see what happens here. And Alonso... Ah, that was what happened. Alonso rejoining the track after a small error. Right in the path of Pantano. Pantano went airborne and lost a lot of machinery. Hamilton looking to make a move on Glock, and he's got the power advantage. Into turn 1, and up another position goes Hamilton. That'll be 15th now, because Pantano's out. And by the way, the battling Dark Wolf and Vettel was the Dark Wolf of Marc Genet, because Rosberg is up to 7th, just behind, just ahead of Wirtz and behind Sebastian Vettel. And here is the other Dark Wolf of Genet under pressure from Hamilton, who's going to go around the outside at 130 Ave. He didn't even need to make the corner. Brave stuff there from Lewis. Remembering his heroic drive in Singapore, which only came to 8th place, but he had run for 3rd place for so long. Now it's his own teammate that he's battling against. His teammate not making it as easy as Genet did. We haven't seen many overtaking moves into that final chicane. It's looking like they want to get the run out of the chicane into the long front straight, which Hamilton is doing now. Into turn 1, up another position goes Hamilton. He's providing the entertainment for this race. Senna leading by 11.5 seconds from Button. Alonso 3rd. 3 seconds ahead of Suttil, who's having another storming drive. But Button's definitely closing in on Senna. As Hamilton looks at the Mitchell for another position. And battling Guy Racing's ahead of him. Both are not even in the top 10. That's how badly they're doing in this race. But Hamilton is up the inside now of Trulli. I think that's 12th position now for Lewis. He's 19th at one point, and now he's fighting his way nicely up the order. And here he is at the back of the Guy Racing. I think he's behind Kubica. Clean just a little bit ahead of him into the spoon curve. And that's a good move from Lewis, because it's a short braking zone. And Button's taken another 6/10 out of Senna on this lap. So we could see a tasty battle for the lead come the end. Clean looking up the inside of an X-Elite. I think it's Bourdais. Closing up on the back. And he's having to go on the outside. He's been boxed in. He's done it round the outside. What a fantastic move from Hamilton. And now he's looking to overtake the X-Elite. This will be for 9th position. Really is flying up the order. And maybe some drivers should have considered a 2-stop, because this is working out very well for Hamilton. Although it should have been a lot further up the order had it not been for that spin and that incident with Button and Raikkonen. That's 9th place now. He's got Bourdais up the inside into turn 1. Now he's looking at 8th place, Alexander Wirtz. Round the spoon curve. The gap between Senna and Button now down to 7.2. It's getting closer. Not having a look into the chicane, he's going to save it for the first corner. Meanwhile, Suttil is closing in on Alonso. The gap between those two down to 2.2 seconds. So whatever Andy Racing did in the previous test, it's working out very well for Suttil in particular. 8th place for Hamilton. Got him up the inside into turn 1. That's become the standard move of the race. Right, here is Suttil in 4th. Making an early pit stop. So he's choosing lap 20 as his opportunity to pit, or is it lap 21? Either way, he's got 32 laps to go. So his pit garage he goes. Let's see how long the stop is. Yeah, 3.4. It's looking like a tyre stop race rather than a fuel stop. Out of the pits, rejoining in some clear track. sort of. Raikkonen on the back of somebody there. Senna makes a pit stop from the lead. Rejoining ahead of Alonso. And now Alonso's pitted. And he's moving up the inside of Trulli into the first corner. Button leads. Yet to make a pit stop, so at the moment, for the time being, Senna will use the advantage of new tyres to try and build out as much of a gap as possible before Button makes his pit stop. Meanwhile, Hamilton now behind Buemi, and Button pits now. No, he's not, he's out! Jenson Button's crashed it! Now what's happened here? This is him trying to lap an Andy Racing, and he's tagged the back of him, and the Andy Racing lifted off, and Button has misread that. Well, that's a bizarre incident, and Button will be a little bit furious. Just one of those incidents. It was Piquet that he was trying to lap. So that's moved Senna in the clear. Huge advantage now over the next second place man, either Suttle or Alonso. I didn't see who rejoined ahead of who, but I'll keep you updated there. And Hamilton going around the outside of Buemi into 130R, and he's having to had to back out of that one. And it was Alonso that rejoined ahead of Suttle. So he's on slightly fresher tyres, and soft tyres as well, so no difference there. So Suttle's got to try and use the advantage of either his driving or his car. Hamilton at the inside of Buemi moves up to second. He's fought back well, has Lewis, but I'm not sure if these early pit stop was a scheduled one or not. Alonso moving up the inside of Bourdais into turn 1. And he can't quite do it. Now he's going to try again into Spoon. And that's Suttle right behind him. We all know that the X-Elite is an extremely powerful engine. But the FGR is a slightly better car. He's not going to try at the inside of 130R, is he? No, he's thought better of that one. Not trying into the chicane. It's looking good for Suttle. He can get another podium out of this one. But now Alonso up the inside. Can he do it? No, he can't. The X-Elite is just too powerful. Bruno Senna coming up to lap a Dark Wolf into the same place as Jenson Button, and he's done the same thing as Button did! And he's lost a wheel. Senna's out. This throws the race upside down now, because that's another opportunity for a win lost for Senna. He's lost at least 2 or 3. So now anybody can win this. Buemi pitting a lot later than the other drivers. 3.5 seconds. It's just for tyres. All cars had enough fuel to go to the end anyway, but seems like a mandatory pit stop for tyres. Although I think Webber was one driver who went all the way without making a stop. In Valencia that was. Webber and Hamilton it was. So Hamilton leads now from Rosberg. Rosberg hasn't made a stop yet, and he's going very, very long into the race. That's clean on the back of Genet. So was that Hamilton's unscheduled turned it into a scheduled stop? It works out like a treat for him because he's leading. Alonso a net second once Rosberg makes a stop. Kubica pits from 9th place. And Yanni has moved up to 5th place. And he has made a pit stop, so he's had an absolute storm of a race. Whether it was pitting early, most likely. And up the inside, Klein goes up to 9th place ahead of Genet. So let's recap the order with 16 laps to go. It's Hamilton from Rosberg, Alonso and Sutil 3rd and 4th, Yanni, Vettel, Wirtz and Buemi completing the top 8. We're looking at Kubica now. Wirtz challenging Vettel and Yanni. This could be a net 4th place for the Austrian. But right behind him is Sebastian Buemi, who is absolutely flying on much younger tyres. And Rosberg does now pit with 16 laps to go. He's going to be extremely fast come the end of the race. Now let's have a look at this battle. It's getting tasty. Vettel weaving all over the place, trying to get ahead of Yanni. And Rosberg rejoins just ahead of Klein. And Klein had just set the fastest lap, so these two will be absolutely flying come the end of the race. And Wirtz having a look up the inside into 130R. Now Vettel's trying to do the same thing to Yanni, but he can't make that one stick. He's slow at the exit, but Wirtz not attempting a lunge into the chicane. He's looking to save into turn 1. And right behind them is Rosberg and Klein. This battle is going to get really hairy come the end of the race. Vettel trying up the inside of turn 1, but he can't do it. He's desperate to make that move stick. Raikkonen in 15th, looking up the inside of a Dodgem, and he's tagged the back of him into spoon curve. Raikkonen spinning off. Looks like tarmac, but it's very slippery. And Raikkonen's making an absolute mess of rejoining. And rejoining right into the path of a shake and bake. That's Hamilton, isn't it? I think it was. And Hamilton making his pit stop. He's had to pit again. Well, he's taking a leaf out of Klein's book of pitting late. He wants to use the advantage of new tyres. And this is a long pit stop. 6.6. Where on earth does he rejoin? Because he's in first place at the moment. Rejoining. In fact, it's well ahead of Alonso. It's a precautionary stop for Lewis, but now he can fly. Now we go back to this insane battle for 4th place between Yanni Vettel, Wirtz. Wirtz looking up the inside into spoon curve, and he's done it! Wirtz up to 5th place. And now he looks to challenge Yanni for 4th. So Wirtz looking a lot happier on the soft tyres, and Vettel is nearly 3 wide into 130R, and he's been taken around the outside by Buemi. Now Rosberg looks to do the same, and Klein looks to do the same as well. So Vettel's dropping back massively, his tyres have gone. And Rosberg having a look the inside into turn 1. And closing right behind, and Wirtz taking Yanni for 4th, or at least side by side. Rosberg's got Vettel. So down to 8th place goes Sebastian. Now Wirtz having a look in the inside of spoon, no, can't do it. Taking a weird line round the outside, and Klein's got Vettel into spoon. And right behind Vettel is Kubica. It's all falling apart for the Pedersen driver. Rosberg looking around the outside of Buemi into one. Now he's switched to the inside. Those two battling for 6th, and Wirtz still battling with Yanni for 4th. Now he needs to try and use engine power and a little bit of bravery into turn 1. Shake and bake looks more powerful, does it? Wirtz up the inside. He still can't do it. Yanni holding on very well. Buemi and Rosberg still battling, now being joined by Klein, possibly Kubica. Vettel, well, he's still hanging on a little bit, but he is dropping back. Because Yanni is holding everybody up. This is from 4th all the way down to 10th. It's a 7-car battle, effectively. The top 3 looking more than safe. Up the inside into spoon curve. Wirtz has done it. He's taken Yanni. I think Yanni's tyres are going off. Now Wirtz can try and pull away. 4th place. This is a magnificent drive for him. And it'll be a good result for FJR if they can hold on 2nd and 4th. Looking to, and Yanni's still right behind Wirtz. In fact, now Yanni's in the slipstream. Into turn 1, Rosberg still battling with Buemi, but the Mercedes engine is not powerful. Wirtz holding on now. Now he looks like he's set to pull away. Rosberg still battling Buemi. Into turn 1. Buemi holding on. Vettel has dropped back a little bit. He still can't hang on. Up the inside into spoon curve. Rosberg has done it. Moved up to 6th. Meanwhile, they've got 9 laps to go, soon to be 8. Hamilton, lap 46, leads by... And into 130R, Buemi having a look back at Rosberg. Hamilton leads by 31.4 seconds from Alonso. Sutil 2.2 seconds back. And Wirtz 43 seconds behind Hamilton. Pulling away from Yanni now. That was Klein having a look at Buemi. Now Rosberg looks at Yanni for 5th place. So it's been an absolute stop. And look at that, side by side between Vettel and Kubica. And Kubica's dropping back, he has got a problem. So he's going to pit. Presumably to repair whatever niggle he's got. Very, very slowly. Let's see if we can find out from his steering. It's throttle. Not surprising, really. 5 laps to go, he's going to try, well, set fastest lap now. But now this is the final lap. Hamilton coming up behind a Dodgem, but a long way ahead of Alonso. Around the final corner. He had a scare earlier on with Raikkonen and Button, but the 2-stop strategy pays off massively for Lewis Hamilton. Takes the win for Shake and Bake. Alonso will come across the line 2nd eventually. Yep, 3rd place for Sutil, 4th place for Alexander Wirtz. Absolutely fantastic result for FJR. Neil Yanni hanging on to 5th. Rosberg 6th, Buemi 7th, and the Guy Racing of Christian Klein in 8th. Could have been Jenson Button, it could have been Bruno Senna, but they had identical incidents with different drivers at the Dunlop curve. So that result moves Alonso ahead, slightly more clear of Bruno Senna in the championship for 3rd place. Button already safe. And the Constructors' Championship has been decided in the favour of Tornado. Guy Racing just weren't quick enough on the day. FJR moved back ahead of Shannon for 3rd. That battle's still not over. And we'll see you for the final race at Interlagos, Brazil.